Okay, everyone, we're going to get started. Welcome to Quantum Wealth Shift. So we're going to really move through this quite quickly. Some ground rules. Please respond, ask any questions, anything that's coming up in the chat. Stay muted. There's going to be a Q&A opportunity at the end, but I want to go really through this as smoothly as possible so that everybody gets the most out of it. Okay. So what do we have on our agenda for today? Basically, over the next 2 days, we're going to be reprogramming your personal beliefs on day 1 and then ancestral and past life beliefs on day 2. And all of these beliefs are going to have to do with your money flow. So allowing money into your reality. And we're going to look today at exactly why I'm calling it allowing money into your reality, right? So we're going to start today with about 30 minutes of background. So this is going to help us really solidify on like why we're doing this work so that our conscious mind gets to accept why we need to do this. Because oftentimes we get blocked at the level of the conscious mind already if we don't know why we're doing something. And I'm sure a lot of you have had this experience when someone told you do A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you were like, but why would I do this? Right? And then you don't do it. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. Then we're going to go into actual quantum subconscious reprogramming after all of you have the beliefs you want to work on. And then we're going to have a Q&A. And for full transparency, in this masterclass, I will also extend an invitation for those of you who will want to go deeper into this work, if that's aligned for you. But this will come towards the end. So just so you're aware of that. Okay. So I want to start this by grounding us into the actual truth. And this is ultimately this immersion is about learning to command your reality. Okay. It is so much bigger than money. It is so much bigger than learning to think positively. And it is certainly so much bigger than just having a conversation about you being worthy of money. Because I'm sure many of you have seen in the space of money mindset, if you've done this work, that a lot of people talk about this, you don't feel worthy of it, yada, yada, yada. And this is why you don't let it in. And while this isn't part of the equation, certainly it's by no means the only one. So we're going to go a lot deeper than that. And this immersion, as well as my work as a whole, is about you truly realizing at the deep level that you're a creator of your own reality and that you hold the power to bring your desires into existence. And also, we're going to look at exactly how to do that. But this is truly where your biggest transformation is going to come from when it comes to money or other things. Having the embodied, not just intellectual, but embodied understanding that you truly have the power to create your own reality. And that includes money. So here's what I know to be true after doing this work myself, after working with other entrepreneurs. You desire to make money in an aligned and easeful way. Here's the thing. No one wants to hustle 24/7 to make money. People who believe that's the only way to do it normally don't make a lot of money because it's hard to do it that way and it's not sustainable. And what is really important to understand is that some part of you knows that it is possible to achieve that. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Now, you, if you're here working with me or desiring, being attracted to my work, are very likely also one of the people who desire to make money through doing good things in the world. And you also want to make money by leveraging your own self-expression and creativity. So you don't want to make money doing stuff that drains your energy. You want to do what you love and get paid for it. And these are already two very important points that most people never allow them to, they don't allow themselves to believe that's possible. You're also here with a mission. And this is something I've seen with people I've worked with and myself over and over again, that whether or not you dare to admit to yourself what this mission is, it is likely a massive freaking thing. And at some point you were told that speaking it out loud is too much. Speaking it out loud makes you naive or crazy or something like that. And a lot of people block themselves at this stage where they don't actually claim and voice what they truly desire. And they don't dare to say, I have really big things to do here. And I want to acknowledge that if you're here, you are likely one of those people. And finally, whether or not you allow yourself to believe or admit that you are here to live an extraordinary life. You're not here to live a life that is what most people's lives are today. And that probably has to do with money, with business, but also with relationships, with health, with your own inner experience. And I want to acknowledge that this is who you are and that makes you unique already. Most people desire that on the deepest level. Very few people actually take action towards that. So, what you truly desire at a deepest level is liberation. And what I mean when I say liberation is that's a liberation from a possibility of a mediocre life that so many people around you seem to be living. And as you get older, more and more people probably choose that path. At least that's what I've seen. You also desire liberation from the matrix, telling you that you have to sacrifice your dreams and talents in order to barely be able to survive in today's world and maybe to have an okay life. And that is not for you. You are also liberating yourself from the narrative that you must use your gifts, time, and energy working for institutions, organizations, projects that go against what you believe in. This is a big reason why I left my previous profession, because I was like, I am in no way, shape, or form going to contribute my own energy towards things that are not benefiting the planet. And one thing we're going to talk about today is that you're looking to achieve liberation from money ruling you, instead of what you know is the truth, which is that you are meant to be the one who's in charge. And most people in this world are ruled by money. They allow money to dictate their life. They allow money to tell them what they can or cannot achieve. So can you give me a 1 in the chat if you resonate with the things we talked about so far? So we just know we're on the same page. Yeah, amazing. Okay, a waterfall of ones. I love seeing that. Okay, beautiful. So here's the thing. Beyond money, beyond anything we talked about so far, you are here to experience deep fulfillment. You're here for a life of adventure. That's for sure if you're in business. You're also here for a life of magic, of illogical results, of having things be so far beyond what other people believe is possible. But you're also here for a life of profound inner peace, profound satisfaction, success, and feeling this delight in life itself. Ultimately, everything we do is for an internal experience. Everything we buy is to have an internal experience. And once you start understanding that about yourself, you have the level of self-knowing that 99% of people on this planet will never understand. So this is what we're ultimately going after. So I am opening with this before we go into money, because I want you right now to admit what you truly want. I want you right now to connect to the frequency and the energy. Like, what do I want my life to feel like? What do I desire to create? What am I here to do? Because I have worked with enough people by now that I know that most people don't actually admit to themselves what they truly desire. And unless we do that, we cannot have it. There is no way you're going to reach your desires if you don't allow yourself to know actually where you're going and what you want. So I want you right now to tap into this and for a moment to suspend any disbelief around whether or not you can have that. I want you to think along the lines of, if nothing could go wrong, if I could always be taken care of, what would I want to do with this life? Because this is ultimately what people like you and I are here to do and here to achieve. And I want you to admit this to yourself right now, because we are right now sitting in a group of people who probably have dreams and desires that have been called crazy. I know mine have. You're also sat right now in front of someone, me, who is no longer even attempting to be actually understood by the masses. I have let go of that about probably a year ago to be totally freaking okay being misunderstood, my desires being misunderstood. And it's been some of the most liberating things I've ever done. And I want you to also know that you're in the company of people here today. I know I'm one of them who actually regularly make people feel very intimidated by their inner conviction, inner fire, inner power. And I want you to claim these things for yourself, because a lot of people play small because they're scared of what's going to happen if they truly shine. Okay, so here's what I want you to fully embody and absorb today. Every desire that you hold in your heart has been placed there by Creator. You can call it Creator, God, universe, source. We're not going here with any religious definition, but creator is my favorite word for that. And what I can tell is that creator did not fuck up when putting it there. So I like to go back to that, because when most people stop themselves because they make their desires wrong, and that includes money. Money is a huge one, where a lot of us allow ourselves to claim other desires we have, because most people I work with actually have very noble desires, right? But when it comes to money, we have so many stories that we're like, ooh, no, like, can't have that, right? And I want you to truly internalize that creator did not fuck up when putting your desires into your heart. Can you give me a 1 in the chat if that resonates with you? Yes, beautiful. Okay, we're having 1s, we're having fire emojis. That's that. Okay. But here is the thing that we really need to understand. Because these desires have been placed into your heart by creator, that means the entire universe is conspiring with you to get you there. Okay, that is really important for you to understand, because when we get set on things that are out of alignment with our heart, out of alignment with our soul path, we can still get them, because there's no daddy in the sky judging what we want, right? Like that just does not happen. And when it's actually in alignment with your heart, with your soul, you have the entire freaking force of the universe behind you, which means there's a lot of grace getting there. What I mean when I say grace, you don't have to do things perfectly. You can have illogical results without doing everything perfectly. You don't have to say the perfect thing. You don't have to do all the marketing gimmicks right. You don't have to write all your emails in a perfect way. You have grace. You can set the desire, you can take aligned action, and you have so much space not to do things perfectly and still see it manifest. But here is the thing. Creator, universe will never break your free will. I wish everybody understood that. This universe is governed by a law of free will. This is one of the eternal questions of religion, right? Why does God allow suffering on this world? Because we have free will. We are here to have an experience. Life is not a test, right? We're not passing a freaking exam, which it's sometimes presented like that, and then it would make no sense. It's an experience. It's a journey. And we have a free will to do what we desire. And a big part of this free will is your subconscious. So here's the thing. When you say that you want something, but you don't see it in your reality, that's because there is a subconscious resistance, subconscious block standing between you and your desires manifesting. And because the law of free will governs this universe, basically when you have subconscious quote unquote block, right? And we can talk about whether or not that's the best word, but that is out of the scope of here. Your subconscious is saying, I don't actually want that. And because your subconscious is 90% of your mind, it always wins. So this is why prayer, the classical way of praying, of being like, please God, please God, please God, do this for me, doesn't work. There's no amount of pleading that's going to help if your being, 90% of which is your subconscious, doesn't align with that. So what we're working with here when we work with the subconscious is aligning every part of our being. Ideally, our soul, our higher self, our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, towards the same destination. And then this is when illogical growth and quantum leaps happen, because you're basically on super speed. So let's go a little bit deeper into this. Yes, Angers, alchemist, exactly. Like this is what we're learning to be. We're learning divine alchemy. We're learning things that have been long forgotten, because the whole humanity, as much as, our Western science, I have a lot to say. I come from a scientific background. We think we're very evolved, but actually we're coming out of dark ages right now. And we're rediscovering this ancient, universal, timeless principles of how our universe actually works. So let's look at manifestation 101. Energy creates matter. We know this from quantum field theory, which is right now the most accepted theory of how our universe works. And while it may get refined, we're certainly not going to go back to purely Newtonian physics after what we've learned. And what we know is that matter comes out of a universal quantum field. And what that means for you personally is that your personal energy field creates your reality. So it's basically energy that collapses into matter. Energy and matter are not separate. Einstein has shown that. What happens as well, though, if we now go a little bit deeper into the spiritual understanding, is that your field, and you can really imagine yourself, it's like a pool of energy, like a field of energy that's your personal thing, right? Your personal vibration. First, it attracts matching opportunities through the law of attraction, right? Energy works very much like what you learned in chemistry, like attracts like, hydrophilic, hydrophobic things, right? It attracts more of the same frequency into your reality and it amplifies it. And then this frequency collapses into your 3D reality. This is basically how things work. Now, here is what some people, many people, don't understand though. Your energy field is created by your subconscious beliefs as well as oaths and obligations. This is where the methodology I use takes it a bit longer. It's not just your beliefs, they're also energetic promises, oaths, commitments, contracts you have made in this life, in your previous life, or your ancestors made, that is also forming a very strong part of who you are and what you can create. And if your subconscious mind holds the beliefs, because each belief has a frequency that goes against what you desire, you can't have it because you're not carrying the frequency that can collapse in the material reality you want. And this is why we call it a block. So what that means is basically, as you learn to shift your frequency, you will shift your reality. And this is what I'm sure everybody here has heard this, but I want to give you really like a step-by-step by how this works. And one thing before we move on that I want to say is that this is why in business, because we're talking about business here, strategy can never, ever precede energetics. Because even strategy that you choose is going to depend on your frequency and your beliefs. If you have beliefs that business has to be hard, that you have to hustle 24/7, that you have to use bro marketing techniques and handle objections on the calls in order to make sales, you will attract mentors and guides that teach you that. And there's plenty of techniques out there that you can make money that way. But is that how you desire to make money? Is there an alternative reality? And this is why, while I obviously wholeheartedly believe that strategy is important in business, you need a system if you want to streamline any process. It is not the foundation, never has been, never will be. Now, we've established here that if you know how to actually reprogram your subconscious mind, you can truly massively start shifting your reality. And what is really cool with this technique is that this gets to happen really quickly. Why? Because now we're working energy to matter instead of matter to matter. Normally people go matter to matter. What does that mean? You're limited by Newtonian physics. So that is what you expect to see, what you were taught to see. Slow, step-by-step, linear, logical results. When you work energy to matter, because energy is what creates matter, shifts can happen instantaneously. This is how instantaneous healings happen, right? So some of the examples of that I want to show you from my clients, because I really want you to understand how powerful this is how my client Kevin created in a single session such a massive breakthrough. When in one session, this is one 90-minute session we did together, he broke this long-standing pattern of self-sabotage where he knew he was meant to more, he knew he wanted more visibility, and he just didn't do it. And 1 week after the session, he messaged me and said, since our session, I've taken so many steps towards putting myself out there that I have avoided for most of the year. And also, what I really loved is I'm saying, I'm also getting a clear sense of my own capabilities and how much impact I can have on business culture. So you see the embodiment that happens when we do this, when we step back into the truth, into our power. And 1 month after, he was basically like, so much has changed. I have my own manager now. I'm putting myself out in the public domain, which is something I didn't actively want to pursue. This is one freaking session after clearing the actual belief that was standing in the way. And I want to say this is a person who has 10 plus years of inner work behind them, who's trained in neurolinguistic programming. So this is the power of really finding and reprogramming the exact belief holding you back. And a similar thing happened when my client Elisa, who after one session released a lifelong pattern that with before every other stuff she did wouldn't go away, and started signing her highest paying dream clients. So not only clients that were willing to invest, but also the ones that were willing to actually do the work. And if you work with clients, you know how important that part is. Yes, Callie, it really is amazing. Like, I am humbled by this work over and over again. And I still sometimes like have to hold my own belief that this is actually possible when I do this work. Because let's be honest, doubt is real. And it's the ultimate thing that will hold you back. We'll go deeper into that. So how does that relate to making money, and specifically making money as an entrepreneur? Because this is why we're here, right? And now we have a really solid foundation to actually move into that. I'm just going to adjust my notes here. I have them on my phone here on the side, just if you know why I'm scrolling. Here is the thing. There are very few other paths in life that will require you to confront yourself the way a business will. And if you've been in business for a while, you will know that the amount of ownership, personal power, that you have to embody to be a successful entrepreneur is off the charts. The ability to trust yourself, trust your own product is off the charts, right? And so in this masterclass, we will dive into money and money stories specifically, but I would be doing you a grave disservice if I didn't actually cover where we get sabotaged, where we get blocked, where we get stopped. And why I'm doing this I think is really important, because I've done a lot of money mindset courses back in the days because I thought that it was money mindset work that was holding me back. And the truth is that there's a lot more that goes into making money in business. And money mindset courses are very easy to sell, because if you are like, oh, okay, I need to make more money, I got to do money mindset work, it sounds logical. But let's look at some facts, okay? Here are some facts. In order to be successful as an entrepreneur, you need to own your genius. You need to own your methodology. You need to create a signature methodology. And I'm not talking about a technique, but what is your genius in the way you deliver, in the way you speak about things, in the way you create a transformation. And immediately here, what we're talking about, are you owning your own desires, what you want to create? And are you owning that is adequate? Or are there questions? What if what I want to create isn't good enough? What if it isn't good enough to actually deliver a transformation? What if I don't know enough? Has anyone had, what if I don't know enough? What if other people in the industry know so much more than me, and because of that, I'm not qualified to teach? Can you give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever experienced that one? Yep, so much 1. Me too, you guys. And then there are people who don't trust their gifts, people who don't trust that their experience was sufficient. And one of the biggest things I've seen with so many spiritual entrepreneurs I work with is this question that they keep asking themselves: am I a fraud? Like, on some level, will people come work with me and feel that I'm a fraud? I know I was asking myself that for a long time, and it was holding my business back like nothing else. Then we got to go and scream it from the rooftops, because shocking, one of the first things you learn when you're in business is that your products don't sell themselves, right? Like, how incredibly, incredibly rude. But that means you have to do marketing. You have to be highly seen. You have to be seen by the right people, which brings us to the next thing of, do you know how to speak your truth? Do you know how to be in your authentic frequency? Because the right people won't come to you because you have a perfectly polished marketing script. They will come to you because your frequency resonates on such a deep level that they're going to be like, this is my person. Like, this energy is going to create me a transformation. And when it comes to speaking your truth and your authenticity, we are seeing over and over again, but what if I get canceled? What if I get attacked online? What if people disagree with me? And what if I have to say isn't like 100% true? Like, what if I don't know absolutely everything about this thing? Let me tone down the way I want to say things. Let me make it a little bit more bland, a little bit less specific, a little bit less sharp, just in case. And in that moment, we're blocking our authentic frequency, which is what we need to attract the right people and for the right people to recognize us. And what I see in the online space today is everybody freaking sounding the same. I see every day on Facebook script after script of people saying something, and it all sounds the same. Why? Because everybody's following a script of how to tell their own story and how to evoke emotion and how to, whatever, handle some objections that they decided people have. instead of actually coming and saying, this is who I am, this is my genius, this is what I believe based on my experience, based on my knowledge, and saying, and that's it. And if you embody this, you're going to be in the 1% immediately, because there are so incredibly few people who know how to do this. Why? Because we were all told it's not okay to be the who we want to be, that we're too much, that we're too loud, that we are wrong, that we don't know everything, right? Then we have the selling part. And here we sell to our humans, right? And all sorts of stuff comes up. Do I actually deserve to have money? We'll look at some of that today. Are people doing a favor when they're paying me? So many people in the space are literally hoping someone will buy and be like, oh my God, thank you for paying me. Like, that is not a CEO vibe, right? But we feel like that. The people are actually doing us a favor. What if people don't get results and turn on me? This is very deep. This is very deep because it's going into a relationship of us actually not owning our soulmate humans' responsibility for their own results. And I'm not saying you don't go and deliver the living hell out of all of your containers, but we all know you can't guarantee anyone's results, because people get results when they're ready to get results. People get results when they do the work. But a lot of us are afraid that actually the humans on the other side won't have the personal responsibility and ability to reflect. And then our business will suffer as a result of that. And then we don't sell. Then we block humans actually paying. And then there are beliefs such as, if I make more money, that means more overwhelm. My schedule will be super full. We're going to look at that today as well. And finally, after you've made the money, can you hold responsibility? Can you hold responsibility to actually repeat your results? Or when you have your highest cash month, you go into like, but what if it was a fluke? What if I can't repeat it again? What if it happened by chance? And you're outsourcing your power and you're not seeing that you are the one who created it. So of course you can create it again. And then some of my favorites, what if it all comes crashing down? Or it's only a matter of time until I lose it all. And this is the ability to not only create results one, but to trust yourself to keep creating this over and over and over again. So we'll clear today personal beef that we have with money. Okay. Tomorrow we'll clear some deeper things on the ancestral level and past life level. But today we will go into the personal things. So before we start this, we are going to create. Because, as I said, if we don't know where we're going, we can't get there. So, in order to create, what I want you right now to do, and this may be edgy for you, but you'll do it anyways, because subconscious isn't, when we're breaking subconscious beliefs, it is never comfortable. I want you right now to tell me in the chat the number that you want to make in 2025 in your business. And I want you to give me the number. Because a lot of people in the spiritual world are like, I'm just going to make money, just whatever universe creates. And this is actually a subconscious avoidance mechanism so that we don't have to look at our desires. So I want you right now to tell me, what do you want to make in 2025? And I want you to put this number in the chat. I want you to put it out in front of here. There we go. Beautiful. Because I want you to see it. And I want you to put it out there. Oh, amazing. We're getting some good freaking numbers. Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. And just to make sure, this means on your personal level, this is enough money to cover all of your desires. And of course, if you have a company, you pay your entire team really well, maybe you want to raise their salaries, you have other things, take that into account. But especially because we're doing it for spiritual people here, a lot of us like to forget that we really need to take care of ourselves, okay? So is that enough money to make food, to buy organic food or the way you want to eat, to pay your memberships, to put money in savings, to have treatments done, vacations, any projects, personal development? Is there something you want to do for your children, your partner, anything you want to invest into the business development side of things? And are there any projects that you've been wanting to do but haven't because of money? So if that's true, and if that is true, adjust the number now before we move on. If you're like, well, actually, it'll have to be a bit bigger than that. And put the new one in the chat. Because it's good to be logical with money, y'all. You know, I'm all about energy, but if we don't have the analytical part, then things get, well, we don't get to where we want to get. Okay, so let's look at beliefs. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you 5 categories of beliefs here around money. And I want you here to use your intuition. So here is the thing. When you come work with me, I teach you to muscle test. Okay, I teach you to muscle test for beliefs because there is a way to test and prove yes or no whether or not you have a belief. We don't have time to go into that today. But what you're going to do is you're going to use your intuition and you're going to look at the beliefs we're going to talk about against the number you just put down. And I want you to write down the beliefs that come up for you and you're like, yes, like this is true for me. And one thing I'm going to say before we go deeper, if you've done money mindset work, you probably have seen a lot of the beliefs we're going to show you today. When we go into stuff tomorrow, it's going to get a bit weirder. Like very few people talk about it. But I want you to make sure you keep your ego in check. Just because you have seen a belief before doesn't mean you've cleared it. And I work with people over and over again that they're like, but I've worked on this. And I'm muscle test them and they still have it. Okay. So just hold yourself to the fire of being so honest because this is where transformation happens. So any of these beliefs, if you put it against the number you put down, I can have as much money as I want. It's possible to make the amount of money I want to make. It's possible to pay a team to work for me. And it's possible to be successful. And I want you to tune into your body and feel if any of these things are like, ooh, no. And put them down, write them down so that when we clear them, you have them in front of you. Category 2, I deserve. So this is your worthiness part, as I like to call it. I am worthy of money. I am worthy of charging good money for my services. Now, this one, it is selfish to spend money on myself. So this one is big because a lot of people, when they're talking about making money, one thing that's really good and you can do after that to go deeper is to tune into your short and long-term vision for what you want to spend money on. Because what I've seen with my clients and myself is that sometimes we have this long-term visions, right, that are super aligned with what we feel is good. So for example, for me, it's an animal shelter, and being able to donate to certain projects. And I'm definitely like, yes, I'm behind this. But then when I got honest with myself, like, what do I want to do with money short-term? I was like, I actually first want to take really good care of myself. Like I want to pay for certain treatments. Like I want to move to a bigger place. I want to do X, Y, Z. And then I was like, oh, I believe it's selfish to do that. Because I was taught growing up, it was selfish to spend money on yourself. Like that's all, luxury stuff. So is that something you have? It's wrong to charge good money for my services. That is a healer's disease. We're going to look at some more tomorrow, but like I'm not allowed to charge money if I'm doing any healing work. It's bad to charge a lot of money. Other people can't afford it. Any stories around that, I want you to write that down. I'm not worthy of money because I have made too many mistakes in the past. So we hold on to past failures and we're allowing them to hold us back from moving forward. And we say we're not responsible enough. We can't actually hold this. And then this one, no matter how much I earn, I always seem to repeat financial patterns like staying in debt. These have a lot to do with trusting yourself and your desires. And these are where we hold ourselves back from truly embracing that because it keeps us comfortable. So can you put me in the chat? Do you have any beliefs from 1 and 2? Are there any that are coming up and you're like, oh yeah. Yes, perfect. Wonderful. Write them all down. Okay, let's move on to category number 3. Money is evil. Y'all, we've all heard that one a million times, and yet I keep coming back to it over and over again. And not money is evil. For me, it's rich people are evil. Because I think of rich people, and the face that comes to my mind is Jeff Bezos. And I'm like, dang, like this is no, right? So any of the beliefs, money corrupts, right? We've all heard money changes people, which is not true. No, money amplifies. Money amplifies who you are. However, it is true that in today's level of consciousness, which globally speaking is very low, what we normally see is very corrupt people with a lot of money. But those two things are disentangled. Money is neutral. Money's not like some spirit that comes and he's like, ooh, yeah, let me corrupt this person. But we've created this narrative. Your parents may have it, your ancestors may have it, and it needs to go. Okay. So any of these things, do you on any level believe that rich people are inherently bad? Or that it's very likely that if you make money, you're going to become a bad person? And this is the one I've seen, especially with spiritual people. If I make money, I will lose my heart. So I want you to write down if any of that is true for you. 4, I will lose. So this one is really big. I want you to understand that your subconscious is always trying to keep you safe. What that means is if it believes that on the other side of getting the desire, something bad will happen, it will block you from that. So let's look at some options. If I make money, I will lose my family, or my family will turn on me. My community will turn on me. If you grew up in an environment where people were in poverty and maybe even took pride into that, right? A lot of people create a story. Rich people are bad, so we're proud to be poor. This can be a big part. Belonging can massively hold people back from making money. Same goes for friends. If you have friends groups where you are, commiserating on how poor you are. I know I did during my student years. Now, if I'm rich, others will take it away from me. There are sometimes beliefs that someone will come and take things away from you. That's oftentimes ancestral. So I will say it's impossible to completely distinguish childhood versus ancestral versus past life, right? But this is kind of generally what we're doing. But is that something that comes up that you think about having a lot of money and then there's this inkling inside when you're like, someone will take it away? Then if I make money, I will lose it all, right? I can't keep it. It's only a matter of time before I lose it all. Or even if I make money, I will have to save my family. That's a big one for some people, that actually there's an expectation that if you make money, you will have to then tugboat everyone else. And then others will just leech on you and hang on you. So make a note if any of these things come and they're like, oof, okay. And finally, my favorite, it has to be stressful. A lot of people say they want to make aligned money and easy money, and most people are severely addicted to drama, severely addicted to stress. And I want you to check in with yourself. Are you saying you want a peaceful life? Like a solid life without drama? And I'm not talking adventure. I'm not talking about the boring life, but drama. Or do you actually like it on some level? Because most of us do. Okay. So these beliefs I have seen in myself, in others. I have to say this one, I need drama in my life to entertain myself. I think I'm yet to see a person who doesn't have it. So if you're not sure, write it down. I need to create problems in my life to keep my life interesting. Yeah, sometimes we just entertain ourselves. This one, I must solve problems to be valued. A lot of us derived value, admiration, respect, being seen by other people by actually solving people's problems. So if we showed up, if we saved the day, if we did something where someone was in a struggle mode and we solved it, then things were like, oh my God, you're so great. Wow. And we had a feeling that these innate qualities of being great, of being a wonderful person, of being wildly competent are actually seen. But that means your subconscious believes that the only way you're going to get this is through creating problems in your life so you can solve them. And that is, money is a great way to do that. It's a great way to create problems. I have a big story around I have to earn everything through struggle. Yes, Callie, this is massive. We're going to go deeper into that tomorrow as well with ancestral things. There are a lot of programs around I have to struggle or I have to suffer to be virtuous, or I have to struggle to be close to God. A lot of our ancestors had that. Huge for spiritual entrepreneurs. So write it down. And if this is one that you know is a huge story, pick that one to work on it today during our reprogramming. And this one, exactly. So this goes together with if life is easy, the suffering I have done does not count. There is addiction to suffering and struggle that a lot of us carry. And until humanity learns to collectively change that story, we're going to keep creating drama on the collective level. There's a lot of drama, a lot of suffering, a lot of war, a lot of things going on right now that are completely unnecessary because humanity has not cleared the story that it's actually possible to live without that. So I dare you to start that process because it's going to be huge for everyone. Life is supposed to be difficult. Life is hard. We've all heard it. If you have that, let's clear it. I have to go through hard times to be wealthy, to deserve wealth. And no matter how hard I work, I never get anywhere. This one's actually a resentment. There's a level of resentment there. But if this is what you feel, definitely it's something we want to clear. So can everybody put in the chat right now if y'all have some beliefs from here that you want to work on? And which category? Give me the categories that they fall into. 5. Yes. 3. Wonderful. 5. So good. 2 and 5. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to take it up a notch before we go into reprogramming, because I want to make sure we find the ones that are really like big. And I want to show you how this really works when we tune into our desires. So I want to go back to your number for just a second. And I want you to look at it. And now I want you to double it. I want you to write it down. What is the doubled number of what you want to make in 2025? Beautiful. And that may be edgy. That may be really edgy for some of you. And the reason why I'm making you do this is because most of us still play in the comfort zone, even when we say we claim our desires, and then we don't actually allow the beliefs to come to the surface in full force. Beautiful. And then when we ask ourselves to like play the next level game, then we're like, oh my God. Beautiful. And now I want you to look at these categories again and have a look. Do any other beliefs stand out? Because sometimes when we tune into the first number, we're like, yeah, I can make that money. Of course I can make as much money as I want. And then we tune into a bigger number and we're like, hell to the no. So I just want you to look at this. And with this new number, is there anything that stands out? And write it down. Write it down. Yeah, exactly. Rog, this is exactly my experience with this as well. I was like, of course I can make that amount of money. And then I doubled it. I was like, no way. Okay. We're almost ready to go into reprogramming. We will probably go a little bit over time. So just so you guys know, because I want to make sure this reprogramming is really good, but we should be done like 1:15. And if anyone else needs to go before, and you'd rather do the whole reprogramming after, there will be a replay I will send out immediately after we're done. So just so you know. Okay. One thing before we get into it that you need to know and you need to understand is that I need you right now to decide you're ready to let go of these stories. I need you to understand these are stories, these are lies, and it's on you to decide that you're ready to let them go. What you've probably seen is that for people who decide they want to create success, they will create it no matter what, because they decided. And this is why for people who have this inner decision and alignment, any strategy works. But also this is why people have arguments around, this is the best thing to reprogram your subconscious, or this is the best strategy, or this is this, because different things work for different people depending on the level of internal decision. Because you're a creator of your own reality, are you ready to change your story? And a thing we need to look at is finally, how is this story serving you? Because every belief we have serves us or served our ancestors or served us in a previous life. So I want to give you a few examples. Money is the root of all evil. This is protecting us to become like them. Okay? This can be quite a noble thing. It's a motivation. We stay poor just to make sure we're not out of integrity. We don't abuse our power. It's possible to be successful. If this is something where you feel like, oh no, normally it's basically a subconscious choice to stay small and comfortable. If I don't believe success is possible, I'm not going to play full out anyways. Why would I go for things? It is selfish to spend money on myself. Does that make you stay relatable to your family? Maybe your family, your parents taught you that. And if you truly claimed that, if you truly said, I'm going to take such good care of myself, you would have a bit of an issue there. You would no longer be able to communicate in the same way. Maybe you would need to set some pretty harsh boundaries. Life is supposed to be difficult. Does that allow you to honor your hardworking lineage? Did you grow up with parents, grandparents who are living in the matrix or the narrative of like, I worked so hard and because of that, I'm a good person. We were such hardworking people. I am worthy of charging good money for my services. If this feels like a no, are you trying to people please? Are you trying to make sure no one challenges you? on your prices, that no one comes to you and says like, you're charging way too much money for this. And you're shrinking because maybe there's a part of you that doesn't actually believe you deserve to charge high prices. And I'm not worthy of money because I've made too many mistakes in the past. So this is energetic memory of regret. Regrets we clear very deeply in my work that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about later on. But this is generally a way to keep ourselves stuck. We don't want to go out of the comfort zone. We want to stay small and insignificant. So I want you to just keep that in mind. Maybe for some of the beliefs you're looking at, you'll be like, ooh, this is why. But I want you to keep that in mind, because when we go into reprogramming, this is something we'll look at. We will look at how it's serving you so that we can clear an obligation for you to have this negative experience, this negative belief, outdated belief, to get the positives out. Because it is possible to take care of yourselves, to spend money on yourself, and still have good relationships. And this is what we want to reprogram your beliefs with, because your beliefs create your life. So this is what this is going to look like. We will go into a theta brainwave. So this is the brainwave we need to go into in order to to access and change our subconscious. And I will guide you into that. It's a really beautiful visualization. And you're going to go into theta and you're going to have a great time. We will find the origin of your belief. So we will look at where it's coming from. And we do this to make sure we find any additional or deeper beliefs that need to be cleared. And it may be the one you're putting down on the paper right now, but maybe you will find out that there is a deeper layer. And we will give your subconscious an opportunity to play out a story, to show you where it started. It could be your childhood, could be your past life. You may see ancestral things. It's all good. Then we'll do the reprogramming. I will guide you step by step. We will use a specific command to do that. And you will witness the shift. This is important. I want you to witness the change, because one of the rules in quantum physics is that unless witnessed, it didn't happen. So we will witness it. And that means you can visualize it. You can feel it. You can sense it. You can simply know it to be done. There are different ways in which we process and receive energy and energetic change, but intend to witness it, and I will witness it with you. And honestly, me witnessing the change is enough. This is how this thing works, but I want you to intend to witness it and expect to see the shift. We will remove any obligations that you need to keep this belief, to have whatever positive quality it's giving you, whatever protection it's giving you. And at the end, I'll give you some downloads. And downloads are really beautiful things where it's kind of like affirmations, but it actually works, which means we bring the frequency into your field. So we actually work with the energy, bringing it down, starting to infuse the right energy into your quantum field. So we're going to go probably for about 20 minutes or so, maybe 25. I may do a little bit of a longer intro to make sure you all really get into theta. And yeah, I'll put on some vibey music and we're going to visualize. So all you guys need to do is get really nice and comfortable. You don't need to sit with your spine straight. You can even lie down if you want to. The only thing I would highly suggest is try not to fall asleep, which can sometimes happen with this, okay? And I'm going to stop the share right now because we don't need it anymore. So get comfy. Feel free to switch your camera off or keep it on. Lean back and close your eyes. And well, actually, before you close your eyes, I'm only going to ask you to tell me if the music sounds good. So let me share this. And we're gonna find the right volume. Are you guys hearing this? Is this good? And is how loud I am also good? Yes, perfect. Okay, then close your eyes. Lean back. And take a deep breath into the center of your chest. Exhale slowly. And one more time. And then I want you to start visualizing the energy that is collecting around your feet. And you can visualize how the energy is dripping down and pooling around your feet. And then, as you observe this swirling energy, see how it begins to go down, forming white pearlescent roots that move down through the floorboards of the building you're in, down through the layers and layers of soil, until they reach the center of the earth. And I want you to feel how this energy plugs into the center of the earth, how these roots plug into the center of the earth. And I want you with the next inhale to feel how you and the earth inhale together. And you exhale together. And one more time. Inhale together. And as you exhale, Mother Earth exhales with you. And let go now of any residual stress. Let go completely. Allow yourself to be held. And now begin to bring this energy back up through the layers and layers of soil, up these roots until it reaches your feet and begins to spill upwards towards your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs. And I want you to feel that as this energy washes all over you, every cell that it touches completely relaxes, all the way down to your bone marrow. And now feel how this energy fills up. It fills up your root, the center of your seat, the root chakra. And it expands it. Feel how this center begins to glow. Inhale. And the energy moves up into your sacral area, activating your desire, sacred desire, your creativity. Allow this area to open up. Inhale. And feel how this energy goes up to your solar plexus. Opening it up, balancing this area. And with the next inhale, the energy moves into the heart and spills down your arms all the way to your fingertips. Inhale as the energy moves into the throat. And let this area soften, expand. This is where we speak our truth. For a lot of us, this area carries a lot of constriction. So allow this energy to clear it out, to open it. Inhale and move it into your third eye, activating your ability to see, perceive the truth, perceive what is beyond the material, and to cast a vision that becomes your reality. Inhale as the energy moves into the crown, top of your head. Feel this area expand and activate. And with the next inhale, this energy moves up above your head, forming a beautiful ball of white light. And it begins to travel up, above the room that you're in, up, above the building you're in, up, above the trees and the clouds. And you see how the town underneath you begins to grow smaller and smaller as you continue to go up. And we're moving now above the clouds through the layers of atmosphere, and you feel the cold air on your cheeks, on your face, and you feel how it becomes easier to move faster now as the air around you becomes less and less dense, and you keep going up. And you're shooting now past the stars, known and the unknown, past the galaxies, known and the unknown. You move faster now, and you go up and up into the unknown. And you move past the edge of the known universe, traversing through bright lights and dark lights, bright lights and dark lights, past the shades of pink and shades of blue, up and up and up, until you reach a golden yellow light. This is the fifth plane consciousness, where the ascended masters live, your angels, your spirit guides. And you keep going up and up until you reach a jello-like substance, a thicker substance, the laws of the universe. And you push into this jello-like substance, and you push in your consciousness. And as you push in your consciousness, your body relaxes. And with the next inhale, you push through to the other side. And you say in your mind, I am one with all there is. And you see above you a white, sparkling portal of white, sparkling light. And you go through it. Go straight into this portal, deeper and deeper and deeper, until you become one with this white light. This is the white light of Creator. This is pure Creator consciousness, pure source energy. This is the energy of the highest truth. This is where we come to shift things, create truth, see truth in our life. And even as you become one with this light, you keep going deeper and allow this light to wash over every cell in your body, truly nourish you. And at this stage, we ask Creator to guide this journey, to show us what we are ready to see, to clear us what we are ready to clear, to receive healing at the deepest level of our being. And we give thanks for all that we are and all that we will become. Now, I want you to bring into your awareness the belief that you most desire to clear. From the ones that we looked at, the one that triggered you most, the one that you know you're ready to let go of. Bring it into your awareness. And now I want you to push up into this white light and say, Creator, where does this belief originate? When did this begin? When did I learn this, and who did I learn it from? Show me, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And let your mind go back. Allow the story to unfold. Allow Creator to show you where this pattern, this belief originates. You may see it, you may hear it, you may sense it, it may be a knowing. Trust yourself and trust the Creator. Let's go deeper. I want you to go deeper and begin to see from the situation, what did you or your ancestors learn? What are the beliefs that you learned, that you took on as your truth from this situation? Where did you learn you were limited? We are looking for these core beliefs. If there is a deeper layer to your beliefs so that we can clear them then. When you find these beliefs, if you want, you can write them down. Now, I want you to take these beliefs And I want you to also include any other beliefs that you found before in our session. And we're going to clear them. So push up into this white sparkling light. Push up higher and higher. Really push up. And you're going to say in your mind, Creator of all there is, it is commanded that these beliefs be resolved on the history level, cleared and cancelled on all other levels, sent to your light, and replaced with the highest and best beliefs for me right now. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And I want you to witness the old beliefs being pulled out. Maybe they come out of the prefrontal cortex. Maybe they come out of your heart. Maybe you see them coming out off of your DNA. Maybe they simply are lifted. And then I want you to also see the new beliefs coming in. And you can ask Creator to tell you, what are these new beliefs? What are we replacing these beliefs with? What are the new elevated ways of looking at life, my business, money? And trust that you're doing this perfectly. Now, it is time for us to see, what did we learn from this? How did these beliefs that we just cleared serve us? What did we get from it? Were they protecting us from becoming a person we didn't want to be? Were they giving us belonging? What is the positive lesson, perhaps even virtue? Self-care, personal power, self-love, compassion, truth. I want you to push up into this white light and ask, what did I get from this? What did I learn from this? How has this been motivating me? And see the answer, recognize the answer. Now, I want you to push up into this white light. Really push up. And I want you to say in your mind, Creator, it is requested to release this need, to complete the obligation, to have this negative belief or negative experience. And in order to learn this positive lesson, in order to have this positive motivation or virtue in my life. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And I want you to witness this obligation be released from your field, simply completed in this lifetime. And I want to give you a download around this. Would you like to know that it is possible to have this positive virtue, positive quality in your life? That be belonging, motivation, safety, protection, without needing this negative experience. That you know what it feels like to have these things in your life without sacrifice, without having to betray yourself in order to have them, without having to keep small. That you know how to move on in this new energy, and you already know how to live your daily life with the positive qualities and without the negatives. And if you would like these downloads, simply say yes in your mind. You just need to give me permission, because free will. And witness these downloads, these new frequencies coming into your field. Let's give you some more downloads to truly solidify the new energy in. Would you like to know that it is possible to have all of your needs met and all of your desires come manifest in this life? Would you like to know that it is possible to make as much money as you want? That it is possible to make money in the highest, best, and the most aligned way? To know how it feels and how to make money without sacrifice, and that you already live your daily life doing so. Would you like these downloads? You simply have to say yes. Would you like to know Creator's definition from the 7th plane of trusting yourself? To know what it feels like to truly trust yourself, to trust your ability to make, save, spend, circulate money responsibly. To have deep understanding from Creator's perspective that money simply amplifies your heart. And that as you trust your heart, you can trust your ability to steward money responsibly in the highest and best way. And that you now release any self-doubt and any limitation, any fear that you're going to abuse power, that you're going to use money to create suffering in this planet. And you release this right now, once and for all. And you step into a deep trust of knowing that you will only use money in the highest alignment with your heart and with your truth. Say yes if you want these downloads. Can we remove at this point any obligations that you must save other people, that you must save your family, that if you make money, this money will be taken from you, that you will lose it Can we complete the obligations in this lifetime of you needing to save others? And can you recognize fully and completely the autonomy of each living being on this planet, thus knowing there's no one to save? Say yes if you would like this done, and I will pull these obligations from your field. Can we give you the download, the definition from Creator, from the seventh plane consciousness, that you know you're deserving of money, you're deserving of good things in life, that you're deserving of taking really good care of yourself, that you're deserving of always being taken care of just because, that there is nothing to prove, that there is no need to work hard, that you get to have a beautiful, abundant, thriving life because you choose to, and that's enough. And can we give you the knowing that you know how to move forward without feeling that it's selfish to spend money on yourself, and to understand that you can resource yourself and that you can create such incredible overflow that if this is your heart's desires, you can take care of yourself and put massive amounts of money towards causes that truly light you up. Would you like these downloads? And finally, would you like to know that it is possible to live your life without drama, without stress? That it is possible to be seen, recognized, admired, respected, without needing to solve problems? That there is nothing to prove, that you don't have to prove yourself for love, for admiration, for respect, that you get to command those things because you choose to, that other people get to see that? Can we now release any obligation for you to have to create problems in your life to keep it interesting? Can we also give it a download that you know that life gets to be easy, that it is possible for life to be easy without it being boring? That we can replace the belief life is a struggle with life is an adventure? And that you know how to move forward in your life without the need to create drama, without the need to create stress? That you truly know how to embrace inner peace and satisfaction? Say yes if you would like this done. When you're ready, push up into this white light and allow it to rinse you off like a sparkling white shower, removing any hooks, cords, psychic attacks from your field, rinsing you off, filling up your aura, your energy field with love, with power, with solidity. Scoop up this white light and bring it down, pull it down through the layers and layers of atmosphere, down into the building you're in, through the top of your head, and pull it down to the center of the earth, and then pull it back up and let it travel up through your body, caressing each chakra along the way until it reaches your crown. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, you can slowly start coming back, slowly. All right, my beauties. Feel free to stay in this vibey energy. And before we go into Q&A, I just want to share with you, because I know how it was for me when I had the first healing done. And I was like, where the hell can I go deeper? So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about this, and then we're going to go into Q&A, and we can complete any healing, and I'm excited to hear about your experience. So I want to tell you about an incredible program that I want to invite you all in if you feel like you want to take this work a bit deeper. And this is my very new program that's called CEO Frequency. And this is a program that is meant to be the end-all be-all for subconscious reprogramming for entrepreneurs. And the reason why I created this program is that I know what it's like to have a vision. I know what it's like to have a mission. I know what it's like to feel that you are meant to serve for so much more than what you're seeing in your life. And I know what it feels like to truly desire to bring something into your existence, something beautiful, something that you know is going to elevate consciousness, elevate humanity, this planet. You know that that's really important. But you're getting stopped by your fears, doubts, self-sabotage. And you know that you're getting stopped by, or maybe you don't know that, but you're getting to understand now that you're getting stopped by things that aren't even yours, by these beliefs and subconscious patterns that are not even yours. And I also know what it's like to learn all the strategy, to go and explore all the details of astrology and human design and looking for this next piece, you know, that magical piece that is going to bring it all together. And it's not happening for you, right? It's not happening, these illogical results, quantum leaps, all of these things. And you're looking for this next piece only to be disappointed again. And I was there. For those of you who know my story will know that I burnt my first business to the ground because of that. And it was this work that helped me completely transform my business, my life, my self-concept, to the point that I'm now seeing a very different reality and helping my clients do the same, as you saw in some of the testimonials before. And this is why I created this program. To have a program that systematically covers every area of entrepreneurship: visibility, know, like, trust, authenticity, feeling safe speaking your truth, sales, marketing, commanding money, receiving money, sustaining it. And that's what I've created. I've never seen anything like that online. And this is a program that's really there to completely unlock your authenticity so that your own frequency emanates from every word that you speak. And so that people who hear you, who are your people, are just like, holy shit, this is my person. And we will also remove any obligations to suffering, to poverty, to stagnation, to slowness, that business has to be slow, money has to be slow, life has to be slow, it's hard. We will remove all of these things that are creating your current reality that you no longer desire in a very systematic way. And of course, we'll also tap you into the exact frequency where you get to make a lot of money following your soul path. So as you see, we work with creator energy, which means we tap you into your soul. We tap you into your soul mission. We tap you into your pure intent. And we find what is the right action from that place. So this is just the overview. I'm not going to go much deeper into that today. I will send you the information following this. But I want to share it with you because if this healing created a profound shift for you, I want you to know that there's a place to go deeper. And since this is the first ever round of the program, y'all also get a really cool freaking offer. Because it is a beta program, it'll be at a founder's price, which is going to be only a fraction of what the end price will be. And on top of that price, y'all who are here also get €300 off of it already. So that means that the starting price for this 3-month program, which is going to be a lot of live support, Q&As, weekly reprogrammings, it's going to be under €1,500. So I want to give you this as kind of like an estimate that you know if you're playing with something financially where you're like, yes, I love this, or you're like, I can't do it. And if you also choose to go deeper, there's also VIP options, support. I have these spots available, but we will talk about that on our call. So all of that information and your ability to take next steps will be in the email that you will receive following this reprogramming. Okay? So that's all I'm going to tell you about this for now. And now I would love to hear about some of your experience, how you found this reprogramming. And of course, if anyone wants to jump off, totally go ahead and do this. But now it's the point that if you would like to unmute and share this, I would absolutely love to hear from you. And I'm gonna stay here for another half an hour easily. I have the time. And if anyone wants to complete this healing with my help, we are going to do that, because we can do that because we're here live. So feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hello. I'll share.
Hello. Thank you. Wonderful.
Oh, I hear myself echoing. I don't know. Can you hear
It's good
that?
yeah, it's good on this side. No echo.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do that. That should be easier. So it was really interesting because in one of my visions, like as we were going through like where it came from, I was surprised how much felt like it was coming up. Like it didn't feel like it was mine at all. Like like I could remember hearing it as a kid, but it was almost like it kind of reminds me of like generational trauma. Like it's in our cells and having this like energetic response. So that felt really interesting. And I had an Akashic Records reading a while back, and one of the earliest memories that the person or like past lives that the person pulled up was this child who was dying at like 7 years old. And so this like deep feeling of the struggle of life felt really heavy. And I was like, oh, that feels really in there, really in my cells. Like, oh, wow, okay. So that felt interesting to almost like to hand it back. This isn't mine. This was created someplace else. So that felt really powerful. Thank
Do
you.
you feel it cleared completely? Or is there some level of this struggle that is still left on the cellular level? Because we can do some deeper clearing right now if you would like that.
I don't know. It feels different, but I'm really not sure. Like it almost feels like I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
Do you
the
know what I
part where
mean?
we
Like, how could
normally
it just be
start to
gone?
yeah.
Like,
And this is the, I remember when I started learning this method with my instructor, and it was so funny because she looked at me. Because, what you've seen here is that I don't do the healing, Creator does the healing. And that's really powerful because if Creator does the healing, you get the highest and best version of healing, right? Because we are humans, and when sometimes healers who heal themselves, they can be very good, but it's a different kind of thing. And there are other programs that come with this where there can be like you need to exchange, give your energy to heal someone else. Here we ask Creator to do it. But I remember her saying, and she said, Alia, this is the laziest energy healing technique you will ever work with because it's so easy. Because you work with a quantum field, you Creator consciousness. In Creator consciousness 7th plane, we don't heal, we change. Right? Because in Creator's view, there is no good or bad. There's no disease and health. Every trauma is perfect trauma. Every disease is perfect disease. Every diabetes is perfect diabetes. So we don't go up and say, like, Creator, can you heal this? You say, can you change this? It's just, we're just changing energy, right? And because of that, it gets to be instant. But developing the belief that it's actually possible to have an instant healing, a lot of us don't have that. So can we give you the knowing now from Creator's plane what it's like to have an instant healing, that it is possible to have an instant healing, that you know how to receive an instant healing, and that you know that it is safe to do so, and you already know how to move forward knowing that an instant healing is possible. Would you like these downloads? And anyone else who wants these downloads, simply say yes. And with your permission, that you're going to tell me out loud after I say this, do I have your permission to go into your energy field and pull out of your cells any memories, any cellular or free-floating memories of trauma, of suffering, of struggle and pain? And do I have your permission to close the cell receptors for stress, for struggle, for hardship, and open up the cell receptors for ease, for flow, for joy, for lightness, for fast results, fast progression, that you can hold this momentum in your cells and believe that it's possible? Can I do this for you?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, beautiful. It gets to be easy if we let it to be. And I think this is one of the most profound lessons a lot of us are learning.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, thank you so much for sharing, Callie. Would anyone else like to go? Yeah, go ahead, unmute yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was experienced, so I identified it's possible. I will lose, and it has to be stressful.
Yeah.
Then when you were doing the session, I could identify my private challenges and others, so the family challenges. Everything became clear from all the stories and everything. It just line up, and I still feel resistant, and I do believe that most of it was due to the lack of the alignment. From my side, that is. So it was amazing. I really felt it, and I'm really enthusiastic what will happen in the next couple of days. Thank you.
Beautiful. Very glad to hear that. Yeah, it's always good with these healings. Give it one sleep cycle. Because when we go through a sleep cycle, we go into theta and then delta. So this all gets to integrate, right? Our subconscious plays wild games when we're asleep. That's why you dream, right? And so it gets this beautiful opportunity to actually integrate these things. So I've had experiences when I cleared something and I saw it shift, but then afterwards I was still kind of like, meh. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, holy shit. So give it a sleep cycle. And what I'm going to say as well, guys, is that you'll get a recording of this. So if you want to go and repeat the healing and go deeper with something, you can use the same meditation again. So if you find tomorrow there's another layer of this, do it again. See where it comes from, see what you're learning from it, and then command it to go. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing. Would anyone else like to share now before we wrap up? We're going to do another share if another person wants to share and receive some extra healing and support. I'd be very happy to do that. Going once. Going twice. Last opportunity. All right, beautiful. Then we're going to wrap it up here for tonight. As I said before, I'm going to send you all of the information as well as the replay in the email following this. feel free to reuse it again. Feel free for healing to be called complete. And if you feel a pull to go deeper, you will receive the next steps how to do that. And I'm very much excited to hear from you. And of course, I will see you all tomorrow for our day 2 at the same time. So have a wonderful the rest of your evening, you guys. And I will see you tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.